Hello everyone, tonight on our program, Venture Capital Trust Fund targets youth employment in $45 million economic program.
Fortunately for us, the Ministry of Finance has put us on the Ghana Economic Transformation Program, a program that is going to actually give us about 45 million USD that we are going to invest over the next 4 or 5 years.
Micro, small and medium-scale enterprises capitalize on opportunities in digitalization to grow their businesses post-COVID-19 pandemic.
Through Instagram and Facebook especially, yes. And now people we didn't know from Nigeria and other countries are calling in. And sometimes we sell them in dollars.
Trading Women in Economic Transformation Forum explores avenues to empower women to play active roles in shaping Ghana's economic policies.
Men have problems of glass ceiling, they do not rise to the topmost positions, and women also have to constantly make a choice between their domestic work and their career progression.
We have details of all those stories and others coming up in this half hour of business news. My name is Darryl Kwao. We'll be back in a moment. Well, first up, the Venture Capital Trust Fund is targeting youth empowerment in the next 2 years to support government's initiatives aimed at reducing growing youth unemployment. The fund is expected to inject about $45 million through fund management firms in support of youth innovation and entrepreneurship. Chief Executive of the Venture Capital Trust Fund, Yao Owusu-Brempong, disclosed this to Joy Business after launching the Ghana Venture Capital and Private Equity Association in Accra. Growing unemployment has been a concern for government in the past few years due to the security implications. Supporting startups and young entrepreneurs is expected to be high on the agenda of the Venture Capital Trust Fund, with a $45 million fund from the World Bank. According to Chief Executive Yao Owusu-Brempong, the processes will begin by the close of the year.
Venture capital can actually partner with a lot of fund managers to fund startup companies so that we can actually create a lot of entrepreneurs in the country. Fortunately for us, the Ministry of Finance has put us on the Ghana Economic Transformation Program, a program that is going to actually give us about 45 million USD that we are going to invest over the next 4 or 5 years. There are a lot more that will be coming in addition to the 45 million. Once we start accessing those funds, we are going to create a lot of funds in the area of youth entrepreneurship, women in entrepreneurship, and then even disabled or people with physical disability in entrepreneurship. So there are a lot more in the pipeline, and we believe the future is going to be bright for venture capital and for entrepreneurs and fund managers as well.
Launching the association, Head of Financial Services at the Ministry of Finance, Samson Akligo, described it as timely and urged members to remain committed to the operations of the capital market.
That the launch of this association is very timely and reflects the real values and essence of what we need to grow our country. The figure from the SEC and from the Bank of Ghana tells us that in practice we are way behind what we should be. When you look at the data that we have, and it's quite revealing, pension funds today, because of the reform that we have done, are just about 5% of GDP. We all know, unfortunately, the precursor to the development of venture capital and private equity funds, which are the collective investment scheme, the basic ones, that's just about 0.7% of GDP.
The Ghana Venture Capital and Private Equity Association is a private sector-led initiative that is open to all private equity and venture capital firms operating in Ghana. The Meeting Women in Economic Transformation Forum explored avenues to empower women to play active roles in shaping Ghana's economic policies. The forum in Kumasi observed women's contributions to economic policies have not been properly represented in Ghana's economic discourse. Head of the Economics Department at the KNUST, Professor Grace Nkansa Asante, says the focus of the forum is to enable government to maximize human resource potentials among women economists. Mr. Pia has more.
The Women in Economic Transformation Forum initiative promotes women-led solutions to address developmental challenges in sub-Saharan Africa, especially on issues that affect women's economic growth. The forum brought together economists to fashion out ways to contribute to inclusive economic policy goals. Professor Grace Nkansa-Asante is representative of Women Economist Network.
We find out that women and men are not in the same employment conditions. Women have problems of glass ceiling. They do not rise to the topmost positions. And women also have to constantly make a choice between their domestic work and their career progression. So if women excel in their career and they underachieve at work, then they are stigmatized that as not being responsible mothers and as not being responsible wives. All these affect the society, all this affects the nation, because the nation is not able to also derive the maximum benefits from its human resource.
The penetration of automated machines and artificial intelligence in the labor space has become a concern for job seekers and employees. Professor Nkansa-Asante observes the government must be conscious of creating new jobs as alternatives to replace those lost in the era of digital penetration.
Certain jobs are going to disappear, but if the AI is being introduced by capitalists, then they want to reduce costs. So because they want to reduce costs, people will lose their jobs. So the question is how the Ghanaian state, for example, will set itself up to be able to predict what new jobs will be required to replace those that have been lost by automation. But the state has to take a central role. Otherwise, most Ghanaians will lose their jobs.
The forum was organized by the Women in Economics Network and the Economic Policy Competence Center of the Frederick Ebert Stiftung, Ghana office. Johan Ivanov is resident director.
I think several outcomes should be there. First of all, we want to give women a platform. We want women to contribute to the overall discourse, to the overall debate on economic transformation, because we feel that women's ideas on economic policies are not properly reflected yet in the current debate.
The forum was under the theme Future of Work, Gender and Informality in Sub-Saharan Africa. Prince Apia reporting.
Now to rural banking, and the Chimakwahoma Rural Bank has posted a 40% profit after tax for the 2020 financial year. Despite the impact of COVID-19 on businesses, the bank grew its profit from 4.9 million cedis in 2019 to 5.4 million cedis at the end of 2020. CEO Dr. Safo Kantanka says the bank's strategic plans show a more impressive performance by the end of 2021. He spoke at the 38th annual general meeting held at Pachi No. 2 in the Ashanti region. Here's more.
Deposits at the Chimakwahoma Rural Bank in the 2020 financial year increased by 40.1% from the 2019 figure. Amidst the uncertainty of the COVID-19 pandemic, the bank gave out loans of over 39 million cedis, which is a 12% increase from the 2019 figure of 34 million cedis. Dr. Safo Kantanka is the CEO.
With the COVID-19, we had to do face-to-face interaction with our customers. Sometimes adverts on TV and radio, it works all right, but when you get a human touch, they're able to tell you their problems, and if it's a loan issue, you'll be able to structure the loan such that there'll be a mutual benefit to the customer and then to the bank. Because sometimes individuals become defaulters through no fault of theirs. If you give bad terms and conditions, you tend to put too much pressure on the customer, and the customer will eat into his capital instead of using the profit to pay the loan.
Dr. Kantanka revealed the bank has put in measures to sustain the gains made in 2020.
Each branch has a relationship officer, and these relationship officers, normally they go out, mobilize potential old customers and potential ones, and then they monitor the account so that if an account is becoming dormant, the first thing to do is that we visit those accounts that have become dormant, and we try to reactivate those dormant accounts. If you reactivate those dormant accounts and you treat your customers very well, they go out and preach the good news about your bank.
In line with a Bank of Ghana directive, the Twuma Kwahoma Rural Bank is now a public limited company. Board Chairman Patrick Owusu explains the move is critical to enhance the operations of the business.
Once you've acquired a new status, you have to work hard to penetrate areas that you think is fertile for business growth. So depending upon your resources, your assets, we can now work at any place.
Meanwhile, long-serving officials and other deserving members of the bank were recognized and awarded for their contribution to the bank's growth. Prince Apia reporting.
And you're watching Business Live. The EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair is coming up ahead. Property management service provider Renters Paradise is promising up to 50% discount on sales to patrons at the main event.
If you are looking to buy, you come to us at the fair, we will slash our commission in half for you. Wow. And also be assured that any property that you buy from Renters Paradise is already verified.
Exciting news to begin this next part of the bulletin with. Property management service provider Renters Paradise is promising up to 50% discount on sales to patrons at the main event of this year's EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair. The fair, which is slated for Thursday the 27th of October to Sunday the 31st at the Accra International Conference Center, is in partnership with EcoBank empowered by the planned city extension project from Cities and Habitats. Now, in an interview with Joy Business ahead of the event, Chief Executive of Renters Paradise, Joseph Boachi-Dankwa, says a team of experts from his outfit will be at the event to serve the needs of single property owners and real estate investors.
Yeah, we're going to offer them, in fact, if you are looking to buy, you come to us at the fair, we will slash our commission in half for you.
Wow.
And also be assured that any property that you buy from Renters Paradise is already verified. Okay. So there's no litigation on it. We check with lands to make sure that every land that we list on our network is verified. Every building that we list on our network is verified. So there's no way that you're going to buy land or building from us, and then tomorrow somebody will come and say that I have ownership of that same property. It will not happen. Mm-hmm. We are also, let me also take this opportunity to speak to real estate developers that sure. This is the time for us to collaborate. We have a global network that people come to us looking for a property. So if you are building apartments, whether for long-term sale, or for rent, short-term or long-term, let's collaborate. We have a lot of people coming to us with requests, especially with the Christmas approaching. Mm-hmm. The short-term request is huge. So if you have any property sitting down empty, come talk to us. Or if you know anybody coming from abroad who wants a place to live for 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, come talk to us. Okay. We will provide whatever they need. Mm-hmm. And we'll make sure that the peace of mind of both the property owner and the renter or the buyer is assured.
That was Chief Executive of Renters Paradise, Joseph Boachi-Dankwa. This year's EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair is themed Home Ownership to Build or to Buy. Now, fertilizer manufacturers are urging government to pay them on time to enable them produce more to regularly supply farmers. They also want government to help them access cheaper loans to inject into their businesses. One of such firms is Glowfed Fertilizer, which has targeted the production of 15,000 metric tons of various blends of fertilizer. There's more in the following report.
The shortage of fertilizers has for some time now become a major concern to farmers, but the fertilizer manufacturers are bent on producing more fertilizers to help address the challenge. However, they require government support in order to regularly manufacture the product. Here is Reverend Foster Mauli Benson, Chief Executive of Glowfed Fertilizer, speaking to the media at the company's manufacturing plant.
Well, government should keep supporting us. If you ask me, if we had been paid on time this year, to be honest, government had always paid on time in the past four years. And I guess that it's quite explainable that due to the challenges of the COVID, I mean, things have actually been thrown off gear. But again, agriculture is a priority. So we believe that government will keep prioritizing agriculture and pay us on time. Government can also help us access cheap trade lines. Okay, because I mean, this product we brought, these raw materials you're seeing, is $10 million. These raw materials that you see all over this place, we access a $10 million facility from ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development. And the more the price per ton increases, I mean, the lesser quantities you get. So it means that eventually the prices are going to increase.
Reverend Foster Mauli Benson is hopeful Ghana will in the future discover some raw materials used in manufacturing fertilizers to reduce the cost of production and pricing.
Phosphorus is a rock. I think there is a bit of deposits. We're still quite involved in exploration of phosphorus in Ghana. I wouldn't want to disclose the location because it's not out there yet, but the prospects are quite good that in the nearest future, Ghana can discover a huge deposit of phosphorus, because it doesn't make sense that Togo mines phosphorus and the belt cuts across and Ghana will not have phosphorus. So obviously that exploration is ongoing. At the right time, I'm sure when they discover it in commercial quantities, it will be.
There was a 35% increase in fertilizer imports from 2018 to 2019. Since Ghana is currently a subsidy market, the increase can be attributed to the Planting for Food and Jobs program.
Right, and that story ending Business Live tonight, but there's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com. Our top story there from the Institute of Economic Affairs: we failed to raise enough revenue, a reason for high borrowing. Also, go to IMF for liquidity support for finances. Your finances not good. That's that government being told that. You can read more about that and other stories on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for watching. We'll be back same time tomorrow.